has changed. America has changed. If something were to happen tomorrow, how self-sufficient would you be? Could you grow your own food? Could you sustain your own livestock? Could you survive? This is the We Grow Our Show with Nick and Don. Nick and Don talk about everything from politics to planting. They cover techniques, methods, and tips on how to not only survive, but thrive. Visit the website at WeGrowOurs.com. Lock and load. This is the We Grow Our Show. Get your grow on.
Welcome back to the We Grow Our Show. We got a great show lined up for you today, folks. So I hope you brought your listening caps. Don, you with me?
I'm here.
Okay.
I brought my listening cap. I was listening.
You weren't listening. You were looking at your phone.
Obviously, I was listening.
Oh, okay. What did I say?
The listening cap.
Oh, okay. You caught that. My wife does that same thing to me where she'll pick out one little thing out of the phrase. Yeah, I was listening. It's something about rabbits and E. coli. Oh, great, honey. Could you please explain what I just said? No.
You did a show intro.
Okay, I did a show intro.
There you go.
All right. So, first things first.
Don't call me out reading my phone either. I mean, what is that about? Yeah, I got a business I'm conducting over here.
Oh, yes, excuse me. I've got better things to do. Let me pull my phone out and... Oh, yes, it looks like Facebook has this. No, just kidding. Don, how was your week?
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
It was so busy, I have no idea what day it is.
Yeah. Well, we kind of screwed things up, rescheduled and stuff. So usually it's Tuesday when we record, and now it's Thursday. And
yes.
Really got me all jacked up. Anyway, speaking of jacked up,
You have a story, don't you?
I have a story to tell, and it's pretty wild. Let me preface it with that. For those who don't know, I repair copy machines during the day. Copy repair tech by day, mass murder of the cute and fluffy by night. That's what I do. So I had just finished up a call, and I was in my truck in the parking lot finishing up paperwork, and I'm rolling out of the parking lot, and I look ahead, and this girl bails out of a building with her phone in hand in nothing but her underwear. No joke. Looking at her, I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I immediately go into, who's chasing her? And so I rolled up real fast. She ran out and was going behind this building and ducked back by the dumpsters. And so I rolled down my window real fast, and I was like, are you okay? And she's talking on her phone. She's like, yeah, I'm fine. Are you okay? I'm like, you're in your underwear running with a phone, or what's going on? She's like, this is the strip club. I was like, oh, and I'm looking up, lay girls right across the top. Like, oh, I've got perception issues.
Oh, that's too funny.
So, yeah, this would-be hero of the day.
At least you tried.
Yeah, and then I tried to sell her rabbits. So, no, just kidding.
I would not put that past you in the least.
Oh, you're okay. Well, why don't you mix rabbits into your act? I don't know. I've got some here if you're interested. I know a guy. Anyway,
she's looking at the side of your truck with a rabbit with a machine gun on it like, oh my God, I could not be out here.
This is no longer safe. Maybe I should have worn clothes. Seriously, though, I thought the whole point of a strip club is to keep the naked girls inside so you can make money.
I would assume it is.
Unless she was chumming for more people to come in.
That's just bad.
Oh, it was the strangest thing.
All right, so we had a good show lined up for you.
Yeah, sorry for all of the good Christian folks that I just offended with that. But
you were trying to do the right thing. And
I
help out a young lady with
a damsel in distress. I mean, that wasn't a scenario that even played out in my mind.
Right,
it was just, oh my gosh, there's a girl that needs help. Anyway, so back to whatever this is. Oh, all right. We've got up next. We've got Don with Prepperfest Arizona. Why don't we go ahead and get him on?
Sounds good.
What will you do when your stored supplies run out? Are you prepared? Hostile Hair provides equipment and education you need to control your own infinite food supply. We have live food storage systems, rabbits, quail, and other urban livestock for any situation and strategy. Don't be limited by what's on the shelves. Get started with an infinite food source today. Get prepped, stay fed with Hostile Hair. Call 480-331-3761 or visit hostilehair.com.
All right, welcome back to the We Grow Ours show. We've got a guest on the line, Mr. Don Westover with Prepper Fest Arizona. How you doing today, Don?
I'm doing fabulous. How about you guys?
I'm doing all right. I think it's going to get a little confusing here because we got two Dons and a Nick.
I'm Don Dever. You can just refer to me as DW.
DW. Yeah, the girl from Arthur. That'll work. No. Sorry, I had to go there. So what's going on, man? You got a Prepper Fest coming up. What can we expect there?
We are so excited, guys. This is our fourth show. We outgrew the Phoenix Fairgrounds, and we are now at the brand new facility at Westworld in Scottsdale. They built a building for the Barrett-Jackson Auto Auction, and it's a fabulous building. It's 125,000 square feet.
Whoa! And
we're going to be one of the first shows, other than the auto auction, that's going to be at that facility. We're expecting a little over 5,000 people for a 2-day event. It's going to be Saturday and Sunday, October 25th and 26th, at Westworld, right off the 101 there in Scottsdale.
You know, that is an awesome venue, too. I've been going out to Barrett-Jackson for a long time. I love the Westworld venue. It's just a nice place. So I'm looking forward to this. This is the first one there, and I'm looking forward to it. So
yeah, well, it's great. You know, I mean, the audience that are coming to these shows across the board, I mean, people are recognizing that, you know, having some extra things on hand and preparing is a good thing. I mean, if you're listening and you're in the Phoenix area, you know, all of a sudden the rain came and the freeways were flooded and cars are floating down the freeway. You never know when things are going to happen. So we like to look at it as, you know, we're not worried about the end of the year, or the end of the world, but we recognize who's going to fault you for having some extra things on hand. You come to this show and you're going to be amazed at all the different products that people have to have things on hand that you're going to go, this is really handy.
Well, not only the products, but you have how many educational booths? Or the I guess
we're going to have 80 different classes over the weekend. We've got 4 classrooms and we've got 80 speakers.
And that's all included as part of the admissions for this thing.
It's all part of the whole deal. Absolutely. We're real focused on education. We really want people to understand that there's a lot of practical things that people can do to prepare for whatever comes your way.
Couldn't agree more. I mean,
yeah. I mean, there's sometimes that all you've got is what's in your mind. So it's good to prep both mentally, you know, educational wise, and then also you got a bunch of products there that are good to go.
Yeah, you get your shopping done and learn how to use the stuff you buy.
Exactly.
And it's great just to have peace of mind to know that you got stuff on hand, and if you run out of stuff or something, there's a shortage, you've got that stuff, whether it's food or medical supplies or extra water. We got a guy that's come up with a solar flashlight that's got a USB port so that you can charge your cell phone or your tablet. So if you're out somewhere, out camping, you've got your solar flashlight that you can plug your USB in. I mean, there's so many companies that are coming up with really cool products to help you if you're not next to a suburban area. You know, you're not close to stores, but you're out there. You don't have to go somewhere. It's right here in your garage or in the backyard.
Yeah.
Nice.
I want to go back to those classes. You mentioned there's going to be 3 different classrooms, over 80 classes. Can you run through just a couple of the things that you guys are going to be offering out there? Because, you know, that's what we're all about is education here. So tell me what you're going to be doing.
We've got a nurse that's going to have a suturing class that's going to teach you how to suture when you're out on the field. Somebody gets a cut or a scrape, you're going to be able to have first aid training. We've got Peter Bigfoot, who actually teaches organic gardening. He's going to be teaching about everything from worm castings to preparing the soil, what types of different kinds of produce you can grow at different types of seasons. We're going to have security personnel that's going to be talking a little bit about some simple ways to secure your home, your driveway area from everything from night vision cameras to be able to have just a better understanding of what you might need to do if you want to make your home more secure. We've got Rachel Linden, who's coming in. She's the head of GMO-free Arizona. She's going to be talking about food supply and the threat against our food supply and what we can do to prepare our own food. We're going to have Chef Tess, who's coming to talk about different recipes that you can do simply to, economically, where you can actually put a salad together, or whether it's stuff on the barbecue, all sorts of different kinds of recipes that you can do at home with little work, stuff you can pull out of the garden. So we're going to have a farmer's market at this show. So you come early, come to the early hours, and you'll see our floor plan when you go to the website. The website, by the way, everybody, is prepperfestaz.com. AZ, so prepperfest, FEST, AZ.com. You can click on the interactive floor plan. You can actually see the booths that are shaded. You can see who's coming. You click on those shaded booths, and will pop their website. It'll pop whatever things that they're going to be bringing to the show. You'll see the farmers market there. We've got 5 or 6 vendors coming so far, and I've got probably 7 or 8 more vendors that are going to be bringing their produce and different products. It's going to be a great show. We've got a petting zoo. We've got an outdoor exhibit area for an RV company that's going to bring some really cool new RVs for people that want to be out off the grid, that have solar roofs and stuff. So it's going to be a fun event.
I'm excited to go. I've had a lot of fun at the ones that I've participated in the past, and the We Grow Our show will be there this time.
Yeah,
so
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to having you guys.
Yeah, we're looking forward to being there and showing off some of our show sponsors, and I think we're going to try and do some interviews while we're out there too. So, hey, Don, I really appreciate all the time, and we're looking forward to October. What's the dates again?
October 25th and 26th is the last weekend of October.
Okay.
Awesome.
And what time do you open and close?
9 to 6 on Saturday and 9 to 4 on Sunday.
And that's at Westworld Scottsdale. Perfect. We'll get the information posted on our show notes as well and get a link out there. So hopefully everybody in the Phoenix area can come and visit.
Great. Love to have you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay, guys.
We'll talk to you later.
Things just got real. The drugstore is closed and the doctor is unavailable. What are you going to do? Stock your medicine cabinet and bug-out bag with nature's alternative, essential oils. Visit mylavenderlife.com for all your essential oil needs.
Wow, I think I found a Don I actually like.
Burn.
Just kidding. No, I think this upcoming Prepper Fest is going to be a good time.
I sure like the venue.
Yeah, the venue's
Westworld's
going
to be nice.
And I'm glad they're only doing a 2-day, because the 3-day ones, it's like the same people are coming every single day.
Yeah.
And I think Tony was double counting. Oops.
Well, I certainly like the education portion of it.
Yes, that's cool. I'll give him that. Everything's centered around education.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. In fact, Nick, you're going to be putting on a class, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
And let me guess, rabbits?
Well, I was thinking about how to save strippers from themselves, but decided against that. But yeah, Rabbits 101 probably.
Rabbits 101.
The sweetened condensed version.
You should switch it up a little. Do something a little more advanced this time.
Advanced?
Yeah. Because you've done the Rabbits 101 a few times.
Yeah, but it takes 3 times to actually register, right?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Well, hopefully all of our audience will come visit us too.
Yes.
So if
please
you guys
do
are
come.
in
We're going to have a
Phoenix-
booth there. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we're going to be somewhere back there near the classrooms, and
We'll be there like kissing babies and
we're going to
signing
kind of be
boobs.
all alone.
Come on. It's funny.
Yeah, I'm going to be
And
talking
offensive.
on black soldier flies.
That's right. You've got the class right after me or right before me,
Yeah,
whatever
I think
we
that's
want.
Saturday, like 2-ish, 2:30.
2:30. I think I go first. I don't know. I'll have to double check. But 2:30, one of us goes. 3:30, the other goes.
Cool.
So black soldier flies and rabbits.
They kind of go hand in hand. I think black soldier flies are a key. So
I think they go poop and mouth. I've had 2 monsters today.
Yeah, I
I
can
am
tell.
jacked.
you think?
Sorry. Moving on. We actually had somebody call in and leave a message.
Yeah, they use the voicemail thing.
They used the voicemail.
Thank you, Brian.
Somebody figured it out. We've got Brian from India. Indiana. I don't think he's Hindu because he called about cows.
Awesome.
Hello, guys. My name is Brian. I'm in Indiana. My question is for Nick. Nick, you mentioned that you used to raise a lot of rabbit meat, and I'm curious on how much processed weight you raised each month, what you charged per pound, and how you found all your customers. I'm contemplating raising rabbits and or quail, I guess, and my concern is that I'm going to raise a bunch and not be able to sell it, and I'll be stuck with a lot more than I can eat. Thanks.
Well, to answer your question, Brian, when I was at peak operation, I was producing about 700 rabbits a month, and at their heaviest, I was producing about 3,500 pounds live weight, which if you freeze them solid is 3,500 pounds dead weight as well. If you have to process them, you're losing about 30% in skin and guts and the head and all that stuff goes away. So a 5-pound rabbit drops down to about 3.5 pounds. So it's still a lot of rabbit meat per month. And I was doing that out of a 500 square foot building. So I no longer have that many rabbits going. I've got a substantially smaller amount, much more manageable while you have a day job.
And a podcast.
And a podcast and,
a couple of businesses running.
Just a lot of irons in the fire. I had to cut back on my livestock. I still got a ton of ducks and a weird Brazilian deer. And
did I tell you what happened, by the way? I don't know. From one of the episodes a long time ago, if you remember, Nick promised me a couple of ducks, and he delivered. Amazingly, he followed through and got me some ducks.
I don't follow through on stuff.
No, I'm just saying thank you. Come on now. Yeah, I felt insulted. I'm saying
I am insulted. He actually followed through.
He actually followed through and got me some ducks.
Like it's a surprise.
It kind of is. All
right. That's it.
So
Jerk.
We lost our Drake, the awesome Drake that you gave us. I love that little Drake. He was a good male duck. I mean, did his job. And
I'm sure he enjoyed it.
I'm sure he did.
So what happened? Did he run off?
I know coyote came on the property at like 10 o'clock in the morning.
That's ballsy.
Yeah. After we let all the animals out, right in front of the kids.
Don't you have dogs?
I do. In fact, and they were not outside. And, my middle son opens the door thinking, okay, he's going to get the big dog, Tucker, the big cow dog that we have, to come running out and chase it. Well, Tucker is just laying there. He ain't getting up. The border collie sees the thing and says, I ain't going out there. That's a big coyote. So the freaking chihuahua runs out and chases with I guess the thing had a duck in its mouth. It runs away.
So it did make off with the duck.
The duck in his mouth, did not drop it. The neighbor yelled at him. I mean, he was running, so yeah, and they stopped following him. So I don't know where it went. And unfortunately, the shotgun was not sitting there. I do have kids, so I can't always leave a shotgun at the front door. We have to be a little responsible here. I've got the pellet gun sitting there. That's all ready to go. So if the kids see it, I said, at least shoot it with the pellet gun.
Oh, yeah. Put some pain to it. I mean, if you don't want to kill it.
Oh, I want to kill it. It's eating my livestock, and it's going to keep coming back. So
it's a threat. It's
actually now gotten 3 chickens and the duck.
Really?
So the dang thing's coming in the daytime, I think.
How's it getting through? Is the gate open?
No. It doesn't matter. It's a coyote. I have if I'm lucky, that's 4 foot.
Okay.
So it'll pop right through those. My border collie goes right underneath it.
Oh, okay.
It's not a real
Sounds like you got
fence.
some fencing to do.
Yeah, I know. But it's a lot of land. It's 1.25 acres. That's a lot of fencing and a lot of money in fencing.
Dude, I helped my dad stretch 200 acres of fence.
It's a rental.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so we've got to
buy a better gun.
So, yeah, I've got the gun. I'm just waiting for him to come back when I'm around or when my wife is around.
Yeah.
She calls me, where's the ammo? I can't find the ammo. What are you going to shoot?
Just put him in timeout. We're not killing a kid.
Came over to visit.
Oh, yes, the mother-in-law. How is she?
Yeah. So, all right, back to Brian. Sorry about that, Brian. I completely derailed your entire question.
All right, so where were we? Okay, yeah, the amount I processed a month was about 3,500 pounds. I wasn't actually cutting and gutting them. my customers wanted them whole. Their animals wanted to feel like they killed it. A lot of reptiles, a lot of monitor lizards, things like that.
So that's kind of the other part of this equation that Brian asked.
Yes. So that's how much I was producing. I couldn't produce enough with the market rocking. So once you start into this, I'm telling you, there is a void where rabbits should be filling. I'm not sure what the market is as far as reptiles go in Indiana or India.
Well, and I'm not sure in Indiana. Check the local laws, because in some states you can actually sell rabbit as meat.
Yes.
And if you're under a certain amount, I know in Washington I was looking, and if you sell under 1,000 of them, you don't need like an inspection. If you're between 1,000 and 9,000, you need a small inspection. And then if you're over that, you need another, but you can't sell across state lines. So there's a whole bunch of different state laws. And what's the rabbit group that you suggest there?
The rabbit group?
On Facebook?
Oh, yeah, Backyard Meat Rabbit.
So, yeah, that would be, I think, a good resource to go to and say, hey, this is my state. Somebody might know the laws there. So
that, and we've got a pretty large following. There's over 500 members in my group, the Hostile Hair.
Well, that's what I was actually referring to initially.
Okay. My apologies. I see you said it on the tee, and I didn't hit it.
That's right.
I was the one with the head in the clouds.
Got you back for last week.
Yeah. Anyway, no, there's it's Hostile Hair what is it? Hostile Hair Rabbit Livestock Talk.
Yeah.
Something like that. There's always links on my Facebook
I can put a link
page.
on the show notes.
Hey, there you go.
Yep.
Let's do that. Next part of the question, what do you charge per pound? Well, it depends on what the market will yield. There are multiple markets and different levels of each market. You've got manufacturer, wholesale, and retail. If you're selling to Joe Schmo that wants to eat it, well, then you sell it retail. If you're selling it in bulk to somebody, wholesale. And if you have somebody that's going to sell it for you, obviously you're the manufacturer, sell it at that. So it just depends. In the supermarkets around here, rabbit's going for $10 a pound.
Yeah.
So if I'm butchering a rabbit for somebody's dog to consume, we'll say, then I sell it for $8 to $9 a pound, just so it's just under retail value.
And that's fresh rabbit.
Fresh rabbit.
Now, out here in Arizona, we can't sell it at all.
No.
For human consumption. You
But
might
if
be
you
able
got
to
a
in
dog.
Indiana.
There you go again.
So in Indiana, you might be able to do that.
Oh, I just got
This
this.
because you kept saying it.
I got this image of Habu from The Simpsons. He's got rabbit hanging in his shop.
Oh, my goodness.
Good luck editing this one,
this
buddy.
is going to be fun. That's staying right in there, and it's Nick at hostlehair.com.
To all Hindus listening, I do apologize. But
No.
you got to get the joke. Woo! All right. So next part of
Well,
this.
hang on. I want to go back to that
No,
part.
you're not allowed.
No, because I think there's a market you're missing, and it's the market that I do out here. I don't sell rabbit very often at all. What we do is we barter.
Okay.
And I want to make sure that people think about that, because bartering is great. So we'll raise our rabbit up, and anything extra that we're not going to eat, I'll trade straight across for pork or beef or lamb or goat or something else that somebody else is raising.
And if the end consumer is there on your property with you, helping you, it's not illegal to kill an animal
Right.
and have them take it home, and you sell them the animal and then provide the service of butchering
And
it.
again, I check your state.
Yeah, check that. But I mean,
You can certainly teach somebody how to do it.
exactly.
In fact, I've got a guy coming over on Sunday that is thinking about getting into rabbits, and he's never had it, and his wife hasn't had it. So they're coming over. We're making them a nice rabbit meal.
Nice.
And then I'm going to process one on Friday. They're coming over on Sunday. It'll be all cooked up and ready. And then we're going to process one on Sunday together so he can see how to do it.
Huh.
So,
Funny, I didn't get an invite to that.
Nope.
Did things just get awkward in here? Or is it just me?
You are very welcome to come as long as you bring your wife.
What?
That's just what I said.
Okay. I'm not sure how I should read into that.
We're having another couple come over for rabbit
okay. I
food.
get it.
I figure
get
bring
it.
your wife over, and we're going to watch football and eat nachos and shredded rabbit.
Well, there you go. That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, all right. Yes, there are multiple markets there. We'll go back on track. Thank you, Don,
No
for
problem.
the invite. I appreciate that. And that you want to see my wife. It's the way
I'm
you
gonna
said
stop the whole thing, and we're going to just start this whole segment over again.
No. All right. So we've got.
You can come alone if you really want. I mean, I don't care.
If you guys could see this,
Making me feel all
Don's
guilty.
face is bright red.
Yeah,
It's awesome. He's getting
nice.
nervous. He's going to smoke his butt out.
I'm just thinking of all the editing that I have to do.
No. Are you gonna edit this out? This is golden. Anyway, back to Brian. Brian, sorry, we're just so distracted by ourselves. We just really love each other.
Yes, I am going to edit that out. No more monsters for you. Good Lord.
All right. So, other markets available. Yes, you can barter. You've got the reptiles and whatnot. In fact, if you wanted to get into it bigger, you can become a USDA service or inspected facility and produce rabbit meat. That is possible. We're looking into doing it. There's a lot of hoops.
A lot of hoops.
Yeah, a lot of hoops to jump through, but it is possible. You could produce for dog food. You can make your own label. It depends on how far you want to take it.
I'm surprised there aren't a lot more dog food. Rabbit. I mean, because rabbit is so good for dogs.
Oh, yeah.
And you're feeding them the whole thing.
Yeah, you could.
I mean, don't cook it raw. You can feed the dogs raw. And check with your vet, I guess I should say.
Well, okay.
You know.
Here's the deal. A dog in the wild is going to eat a rabbit minutes after it's dead.
Right.
An animal that's minutes old, minutes dead, is not going to be on the way towards rotting. Even the innards aren't going to be like that because it was a living, healthy animal.
Right.
And even if it was slightly sick, it's not going to become putrid or anything like that.
Right.
And I've seen dogs eat some pretty nasty things.
Oh, yeah.
So if you kill it, cut it, gut it, throw it in the freezer, you've preserved it until it can be eaten.
Yeah.
This is basic stuff I'm going over, but just keep these things in mind that a dog does not fire up the barbecue and rotisserie its rabbit. It eats it while it's still twitching.
I think most people worry about the bones.
The bones?
I think that the reality of that is the dog can digest raw rabbit bones.
Yeah.
Because they're going to chew them up and they'll digest them. Now, if you've never fed your dog rabbit, I don't think you should go feeding your dog an entire rabbit right after you've slaughtered it.
It's
probably going to get sick. But if you slowly introduce rabbit as part of their diet, the bones aren't going to hurt them. You got to
build the bacteria in their gut for it.
You got it. Build that bacteria up a little bit, get them used to it, and feed them the bones too, because if they're not cooked, they're not going to splinter like they do.
Exactly.
Like chicken bones that have been cooked and whatnot. So,
and plus rabbit bone is a thicker bone. It's not hollow like your fowl is.
Exactly.
So you don't have to worry about the
so there's
snapping
a whole market
and the cracking.
out
there. Yeah. So I would, I don't want to be your marketing director here, but I would definitely post some ads on Craigslist. How I got started, I had 5 rabbits. 5 rabbits became 50 in 8 months. The reason for that is I sold all of their babies on Craigslist and I maxed that market out. And then I had enough rabbits that I started making business cards and going around to reptile owners and so on and so forth. And eventually I got to where I was supplying some pretty big orders to wholesalers that were supplying them to wildlife habitats or rescues and things like that.
Right.
So the sky's the limit. Bottom line is, if you really think about it, we've got 350 million people in the United States. Is that right? All of them consuming 1,200 to 2,000 pounds of food a year. So I don't really want to do the math on that, but food is always going to be needed. Whether you vote right, left, or center, everybody eats food.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
So what's the other part of his question?
He also asked how to acquire the customers. That's just a whole lot of legwork, buddy. And you make up a cool logo with rabbits and guns. No, don't do that. I already did. But
yeah, well, and that, I guess that comes down to legwork. Mm-hmm. And you don't need to start with 100 rabbits.
Exactly.
You start with 5 rabbits.
Yeah, 5 rabbits is perfect.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is you're probably going to find people that want pets. I mean, how far are you from Riggs College in Idaho or I guess you said Indiana. Sorry
about this, Brian.
Oh, Brian.
Long way around to get the answers to your question.
I think we're losing a listener with this.
I was really hoping that this would have more people asking questions via voicemail so we could get them on the show. And now I'm worried that we're not going to get any more.
Our numbers are going to drop off. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so also you were thinking about raising quail. People, I don't know if there's falconers in Indiana.
I'm sure there are.
If you've got people that like to raise birds of prey or capture birds of prey, there's some groups here in Arizona that do that, and they love to feed their falcons.
Well, I'll tell
quail.
you, I haven't done the falconing market yet, but we've raised our quail.
Yeah.
We were raising 40 a week there, just off of that little itty bitty cage too. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not little itty bitty; it's perfect size for them. But we were raising
it's
a lot
small
of quail.
footprint.
2 incubators. I had a couple of cages, the breeding cage, and man, there is a market out here, and I'm sure in Indiana there's probably a market too. And again, it's just a matter of finding. If you guys, we talked about the Prepper Fest.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the Prepper Fest and walk around and see if anybody's doing that stuff, and say, hey, what are you guys doing? Where do you want to sell? That's a really good way of doing it too. Find out, go to those type of things, make those contacts, find the groups in your area that are doing it. Because quail for us was so easy to sell. It's an ad on Craigslist, $3, $4 quail, and we could sell 40 a week if we wanted, no problem. And then there's the whole market for food that we barely even touched.
Exactly. And if you're in the Phoenix Valley, preferably on the east side, and you want to raise rabbits and stuff, call me up. Let me know when you've got rabbits. I'll move them. I try to anyways. If I don't have a market, I'll tell you. But I usually have a market for rabbits.
Yeah.
Because even though that's kind of what I did is I sold off my herd to people that I set up with cages, and then I buy rabbits from them.
If you want to get into the rabbit business, give them a call too.
Exactly. We're developing something that's going to be pretty spectacular. Plug and play, huge rabbitries. I'm just going to give you that teaser, but it's going to be pretty wicked.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. I love it. There's nothing better than going out there and seeing, sustainability coming out of your backyard.
Yeah. I really was unsure about doing rabbits. After meeting with Nick and doing the whole aeroponics thing that we got going on, I got into the rabbits. I was like, they're so easy to do. And compared to chicken, it's just so much easier to clean them and process them. That's what really got me going. I was like, I'm going to do chicken. I like chicken. And started processing the dang chickens. And I know, Brian, I think you said you do some.
Yeah, he's like 27 layers is what he said.
I don't know if that's the same Brian.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, we had another question from Brian.
We've got another Brian that emailed in.
Yeah, and I actually don't know if it's the same Brian, but Brian that emailed in, we love your show suggestion, and we are going to definitely get to that on raising larger animals such as pigs and cow.
I think I kind of want to buy a Jersey cow and just walk it into the backyard and see how long it takes the neighbors to call the HOA.
I would just love to see the look on your wife's face. She'd be like, no, you would be out of there.
Could you
the cow might stay before you stay.
Could you imagine laying down at night and all of a sudden, honey, what's that? I don't know. Neighbor's dog.
Neighbor's dog.
I bet I could get her cussing.
Oh, I think you could. Pretty darn quickly.
And she's not a cussing girl. The only time I've heard her swear was when it was induced by my actions. Anyway, so yeah, bigger livestock. Yes, I'll tell you this much. A steer will cost you 9 pounds of feed per every 1 pound of beef to produce.
Now, if you're living in a place with a lot of grass,
if you've got,
may be fine.
I think he said 15 acres he's got at his disposal.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's great. In fact, I've got nothing against turning them out to pasture because that's what's great is, yes, it costs more feed, but they're out there mowing the grass. They're out there going and getting it. So it's kind of a set it and forget it. Just keep a good fence so that they just go out there and graze.
Yeah. And
then once they're big enough, you slaughter them or you get the milk off them, whatever.
Well, and we talked to Will Harris of White Oak Pastures. Will Harris. That wasn't Will Harris.
No. Oh. Wow, Don.
I know. You're going to have to forgive me because I put a name in my head. And, yeah. So
he's friends with Will Harris, right?
We talked to White Oak Pastures about grass-fed beef too, and some of the differences. So go back, listen to that episode, and he gives you some tips about that. But yeah, if you're out there and you've got the grass, it doesn't mean you have to buy 9 pounds of food in order to make that. It's just going to have to be fed 9 pounds of food for every pound of beef you're going to take out.
Exactly. Now, whether you're growing that out of your pasture or you're bringing it in bales, or
both.
If you're conventional, I'm a cattleman. I've been in animal husbandry since I could walk. Southwest Wisconsin, we weren't raising rabbits, we were raising Angus.
Right.
And then my grandpa's a dairyman. But anyway, to fill out a steer, and that's to make the nice marbled meat, will take 80 bushels of corn on average.
Yeah, and if I'm going to do cow, I'm not doing corn.
You're not?
No, I'm doing grass. I want grass fed. I want natural. I want it to be the athlete, as he says.
Oh, the athlete versus the couch potato.
Couch potato. Yeah, because if I'm going to be eating it, I want the good stuff. I mean, I love the flavor, and I'll go buy some aged beef sometimes, and I know exactly what aged beef is. I've got no qualms about that. But if I'm going to raise it, I'm going to do it the way that I think is best for the animal.
That's going to be a big-ass treadmill you use.
So what else does... Yeah.
Let's see, what did we cover? We covered how much was I processing. And that's a valid fear. If the market drops out, because it did to me at one point, if the market drops out, you stop breeding immediately, and then you've got one more month of animals that are on the way. Which, if you needed to, you could take all of the babies and kill them and use them as small feed for reptiles. Yeah. So if you need to, you could drop production within a month. So it's not like having cattle where you're invested for 10 months while the baby's being gestized.
Yeah, the gestation period.
Yeah, 10-month gestation period, whereas rabbits, it's 28, 30 days.
Yeah.
So,
in fact, actually, before we move on, I've got a question for you along those lines. Is now the best time to start breeding? Is it cool enough, you think?
Okay.
Because I stop all summer, and I breed real hard in the winter, but I'm not sure when to start right now with the temperature.
I was breeding real hard all year long, but that's because I had AC. Wow, that sounded bad, didn't it?
You had your rabbitry in AC. Yes.
I did. Yes. My rabbitry was in AC. In fact, it was kept cooler than the house. Once you're okay,
because nighttime is all right out here.
Nighttime is feeling good. I would breed in the morning when they've had all night to feel good.
But another 30 days from now, the babies will be okay?
Mm-hmm. I think so. As long as you're under 90, they're not going to go into shock. As long as you're under 80, you'll never have to worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, we should be good now.
Yeah, and that's, just throw some misters and a fan on them, and it should be all right.
Well, we went all summer, and it had 120 out here. We did all right, so.
Yeah, that's true. But you've got a pretty sweet setup there with the wind tunnel between your two buildings.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think that was it for Brian's questions.
And the other Brian's questions.
Or
maybe they're the same Brian. We're not too sure.
We've got a doppelganger. Anyway. So yeah, doing this has to make sense. If you're losing money homesteading, you're either doing it wrong or you really shouldn't be doing it. If your goal is to eat really healthy food and it's too expensive to go and buy it, then grow it. If you don't have time to do it and your time is better paid working and then buying it, find somebody else that's homesteading and fund them.
Yeah, that's a really good point because, if you're raising rabbits or anything else, you've got to support the other homesteaders in the area.
Exactly.
And that's where that barter comes in. Exactly. Pay them for the fresh tomatoes if you don't want to do it, and just keep that community going.
Yeah, because I think somebody, probably a Facebook meme, but it said that if you stop going to your grocery store, they're not going to go out of business. If you start going to a local farmer, you could make their year.
Right.
Very quickly. So let's have interactive time here. I want everybody to figure out how much they're spending on food per month. Figure out how much you spend. $1,000. You know what it is already?
Yeah, just about $1,000.
$1,000, but that's your whole family?
Yep.
Whole family, $1,000. Okay, so $1,000.
That's everything, though. That's not food. I shouldn't say that. See, now I have to ask my wife.
Oh,
she does the budget.
There you go.
That's also, soap, shampoo, toothpaste, razors, everything.
Well,
in there. I'll find out.
Figure out what your budget is.
Well, let's play with it. $1,000 a month.
$1,000 a month, which is realistic if you're eating out a lot.
We don't eat out, but we're trying to eat organic, healthy, and we're growing our own too. So
$1,000. You have one breadwinner in the house, correct? Anyway, so we'll make it simple. Copy repair tech making $19 an hour. Copy repair tech making $19 an hour, feeding 2 people. It costs about $800 a month to feed both of us because we go out to eat a lot. We eat healthy at the house, but not so healthy when we go out to eat. So $800 a month, $400 a piece, and I, working the day job, I'm always out and about. Anyways, the point is, that means I have to work for 45 hours a month in order to pay for food. 45 hours divided by 30 days in a month, you're looking at an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and a half per day that is now allocated to, work towards your food.
Right.
So you think of it that way. If you can grow something in an hour per day, which is easy to do, and how much time do you spend on your aquaponics per day?
Per day?
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't?
At this point, I don't.
Okay, so once it's set up, it's pretty much set it and forget it. You go out there once a week.
Literally, I haven't added anything but iron to that thing in the last 6 months. I haven't even heated it this year. We've gotten probably over the summer, a good 100 pounds of food out of it.
Okay.
Not enough to feed a family, obviously, but enough to do a really nice supplement. And we grew some summer vegetables. We're going to clean it out this weekend, and that'll be the first time other than picking that I'll be out there doing anything to it.
So how much time are you putting into your animals?
I'd say half an hour a day.
Half an hour a day. Okay. So an hour and a half of working my job.
Right.
Or half an hour a day feeding animals and doing that kind of thing.
Now that's split up 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night. The kids helping, my wife helping.
And it's enjoyable.
It's, enjoyable most of the time. When it's pouring rain out, it's not as enjoyable.
Yeah.
But that's going out and feeding and watering and collecting the eggs and feeding the quail that we have left as our breeders that we're not breeding right now. So they're not doing anything over the summer. We don't do anything over the summer with breeding because all of our animals are outside in non-AC. So we don't do that to them. So, between the aquaponics, we've got 7 goats. We're not milking right now. We will be milking, and that'll take another half an hour a day.
Okay.
For the milk. That's actually more time in milking than everything else combined.
Wow.
And that's rabbit, quail, aquaponics, chickens.
Okay. So it really pays off to do this.
Yeah.
So if it makes sense to you, now if you're a guy that's pulling in $100 an hour, $50 to $100 an hour, you can probably work your job and then allocate a little bit of income towards somebody that's already farming. Right. So yes, we recommend that everybody does this because yes, it is rewarding not only in the food that you eat, but the feel good of doing it.
Yeah. And it's, if you're wanting beef, spend the money on that.
Yeah.
Spend your extra money that you're saving or harvesting on the local guy raising the beef or raising the pork or something and put that toward that healthier food.
I'm with you there. That's the whole point of this. So if it's not making sense to quit your day job and grow food, don't do that. If you're under $20 an hour, like yours truly, it makes a lot more sense to grow your own food because it's less expensive. I'm not getting paid enough per hour to justify going to work to pay for my food when I can grow it in a lot less time. I've spent a lot of time on this, but I want to drill that home that, I was on a local radio station here, and the first thing the guy said to me was, "Oh, but think of all the time you've got invested in that." I'm like, "Yeah, what about you? You're going to work every day too."
How long does it take you to go to the grocery store once a week?
It's at least a half an hour trip.
Yeah. I have a lot more fun going to the farmers markets too. I hate the grocery store. I'll go with my wife to the farmers market. I will not go to the grocery store.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like grocery stores either. Farmers market's fun. So yeah, that it's got to make sense. Finding a market for your stuff. We had Justin Roner on. What was that, episode 3 or 4?
Yeah, it was a ways back.
And he talks about agriscaping. Talks about churning out $10 per square foot of planted goods on average per year.
That's enough to hire someone.
It is. I've got 2,500 square feet in my backyard. That's $25K a year I could pull off of my backyard. That's about a third, about half my income, roughly, a little over half my income. So I could easily do that just in the garden. But you can justify paying somebody to go and do that.
And you throw aquaponics on there. Woo!
Exactly. Throw aquaponics in there, put a little shed with some rabbits in there. Whoo, forget about it.
Yeah.
So
speaking of rabbits, we're going to have another podcast, hopefully next week, with another guest on. And we've got a new product that I think is going to be killer. I want him to introduce it.
Yeah, we'll hold off to introduce it until
wow.
I'm excited.
Speaking of rabbit poop.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, we'll cover that next week, hopefully, if not the week after.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, that pretty much wraps it up for this show. Unless you've got anything else, Don?
Well, I'm going to do my wrap up as always. So everybody can tune up now. But send your voicemails in. Thank you, Brian, for doing that.
Yes.
I hope we hear from the rest of you. We won't always, chop it up quite so much. We'll answer the question. But yeah, no, wegrowours.com. We're wegrowours.com/askus. On Facebook, you can also see the send voicemail. It's on our website everywhere. Every page has it on the right. Facebook.com/wegrowours. Don't forget, Nick is giving away a rabbit cage when we hit 3,000 fans.
Yeah, and that's 3,000 fans on We Grow Ours Facebook page, not Hostile Hair's Facebook page.
Sorry. My bad.
A little bit of a mix-up. I do appreciate the traffic going to the page. Thank you, Don, for screwing up.
Yep, no problem. Anytime.
All right. Well,
you're a show sponsor.
That's one of the benefits of sponsorship. Hey, speaking of which, we've got a spot open.
Yes, we do.
So,
yeah, we've got a spot open.
If you've got something you want to sell, we'll sell it for you.
Yeah, we'd like it to be semi-related. So speaking of semi-related to growing your own food is Bud Out E6, right?
Oh. Hey, this is what I've always said: food, fuel, and medicine. I really think that the e-cigs are a great way.
Yeah, I had
some medicine.
One of the fans kind of messaged me and say, "Hey, there's a study out that proves this is bad, and you just don't know if it's as bad as cigarettes at this point." Well, I agree with you, and I'm not saying anybody should do any of that stuff, but I like it a whole lot better, and I hope you go visit Bud Out E6.
There you go.
So, and My Lavender Life, Hostile Hair, and EcoPod Gardens, of course.
Of course.
So you guys know where to find us. We're going to put everything in the show notes as usual. Don't forget the Gompers Party on March of 2015. Mark your calendars. Go to the website. Get your tickets.
The whole month.
I can't remember what day it was. So go check that out. Get the tickets printed out so we know we're going to have a lot of fun there. We are looking for a show sponsor. We've got an opening on our table. We're going to be featuring our show sponsors at the Prepper Fest here in Arizona. So
get in quick.
Get in real quick. Thanks.
All right, guys. We'll catch you next week.